Hi, everybody, and thanks for joining us live on Smart Family. I'm Connie Cola.
And I'm Daphne Monroe. And you know, our goal is to keep it smart and simple, and you're going to learn something new every day. Now, you may have seen the alarming headlines. A new study found household chemicals and nonstick surfaces are linked to early menopause. Turns out the truth is more complicated.
That's right. The chemical, PFC, is actually widely used in household products, including containers and furniture. And they're so widely used that samples show about 98% of all Americans have some levels of that chemical in their blood.
But even though the chemical will be phased out in the U.S. by 2015, should we still be worried?
The findings give American women yet another reason to be concerned about the environment and their health.
This study found a clear link between more PFCs in the female body and earlier menopause.
PFCs, perfluorocarbons, are chemicals found all around us, in furniture, cosmetics.
Studies that we've done looking at these chemicals in the U.S. population show that almost everyone has these chemicals in their blood.
PFCs have long been linked to cancers and thyroid disease in animal studies, and the type found in nonstick frying pans has been known in rare cases at high heat to kill birds and cause flu-like symptoms in people, although chemical companies maintain their product is safe. The report raises questions about whether early menopause is new reason to worry about PFCs in general. In a study group of 26,000 women, high levels of PFCs were found in those experiencing early onset menopause, as young as 42. The women also saw a big drop in their estrogen levels.
It did not prove whether that is because earlier menopause causes PFCs to be higher or PFCs cause earlier menopause.
Though it's not conclusive, the report is raising eyebrows. Some doctors say they're not surprised that chemicals are altering hormone levels, but say they need more proof.
We will know within a few years of the time that a good funding source lets us re-enroll people and follow them over time.
Well, joining us now is Vanessa Young, who is experiencing menopause right now. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
And also with us is Dr. Arlene England. She's a gynecologist with John C. Lincoln Hospital. Welcome, doctor.
Thank you.
Let's start with you. What is menopause, and when does it really start to kick in for women?
Well, menopause is the time when the ovary is no longer making enough hormones to give a woman a period. Normally, this transition starts actually in our early 40s, when our ovary very slowly decreases the amount of hormones it makes and makes very unbalanced amounts of hormones, which leads to oftentimes a lot of bleeding problems and a lot of symptoms.
Let's talk about the symptoms real quick, because I know that there are some things that women at home are going, well, maybe I have it and maybe I don't. So what are some of those symptoms?
Well, in our early 40s, we're talking about sometimes more fatigue, more bloating, more cramping, oftentimes more menstrual irregularities. Women can go from having very regular cycles on a monthly basis to having bleeding in between her cycles, to having prolonged bleeding, or to having a shorter cycle than normal. Yeah. Sometimes you'll also intertwine with some of your mood swings and oftentimes even some minor hot flash symptoms.
Vanessa, with you, actually, you were starting to feel some of those mood swings earlier on than you really realized.
Yes, I did. Going through that whole depression thing, and as she mentioned, the bloatiness, the fatigue, just not wanting to be with it anymore. Yeah. But yeah, I experienced that
How severe was the depression for you? Because I think that's something that we don't equate with menopause, and yet it really was a prevalent thing for you.
It really was a prevalent thing to me, to the point that 18 months, just about to the penny there, I was just out of it. I wasn't able to function at my job properly, was not being a very good wife and mother at home. So yes, it really took a toll on me.
And so today now, what are some of those symptoms that you're having?
More now, I'm having to deal with the hot flashes, dealing primarily with the facial area. Going through the hot flashes at night is miserable. Right. I mean, the sleeping is so uncomfortable. I cannot express to you the discomfort that I go through at night.
So, doctor, let's talk about the treatments that are out there, ways that we can effectively kind of navigate through menopause.
When I first start to talk to a woman in her earlier 40s, I'll talk about some of your simpler symptoms. Some of the fatigue and everything, we're talking about your metabolism starting to slow down. So being on a multiple vitamin is very important. Staying well hydrated is probably the most important. Those of us women who live in the Southwest, which your audience does, have much more hot flash symptoms than anywhere else else in the country because of the extremes of our heat. And so giving up caffeine, giving up alcohol. Alcohol is oftentimes a seed for the hot flash symptoms, especially the night sweat symptoms.
And diet is big too, isn't it? There are things you should be eating and should not be eating.
Right. Basically, we're trying to push you more into your vitamin B complex, your vegetables. Potatoes, sweet potatoes, chickpeas, soybeans, any type of vegetable that grows in the ground has more of your natural phytoestrogens in it, and these do help with some of your milder symptoms. Some people will go to the store and they'll purchase a vitamin that has some of these soy supplements or black cohosh, and oftentimes these take care of some of the women who have more mild symptoms.
And so for you, Vanessa, what are you finding that works for you at this point?
As she mentioned, I did use the black cohosh. I didn't find that worked for me. I also use maca, which is a natural powder from the maca plant, and I tried that. I did find that probably did give me some relief. I just have not continued it. You know, you try a little bit to see what works.
Sure.
If it works, you continue. You should. So I think I'm going to go back to the maca and try it, but the black cohosh I didn't find worked at all.
Didn't work for you. Doctor, let's talk about hormone therapy replacement and what happens this time. You know, when you're in your 40s and 50s, you're kind of mixing things there.
It's a very interesting point, that you can use something for a while and it works for a while, and then all of a sudden it doesn't work, and it's because this whole thing is a transition. Basically, like I say, it starts in your early 40s. On the average, most women stop their periods around age 50. But then it's still another 5 or 6 years before your ovary really stops making any hormones. During that time is when you really get your most intense symptoms.
So some of the dangers, let's talk, because we're out of time now. Taking hormone therapy too long, which really happens about now, can cause blood clots. It can also cause heart attacks, and it can cause strokes. What are your quick, real last? I'm going to give you, Dr. England, the last point here. What would you caution people about hormone therapy replacement?
You know, hormone therapy. I follow the ACOG guidelines and the North American Menopause Society recommendations. We recommend that for women who really have severe symptoms, that they can utilize hormones very safely at low doses for as short a period of time as they need. Most women, their most intense symptoms last approximately 2 years. After that, we start a weaning process. Now, there's a small percentage of women who will continue to have problems the rest of their lives, and I have women who are 75, 80 years old who are still taking hormone therapy.
Wow. All right, Dr. England, we're going to leave it at that. Thank you for the advice. We appreciate it. And Vanessa, thanks for sharing your story as well. We've linked the information on our Smart Family website. Just go to abc15.com. Find us under the Lifestyle tab at the top of the page. Well, a lot of you are sounding off on our Smart Family 15 Facebook page about what you think you could do about menopause symptoms. And we've got a lot of men who've joined in today. And Mike says death. Ha ha, real funny, Mike. Candace Clark says placenta pills. Bill Wood says not being an older woman. Again, a man's opinion there. And Socorro Martinez says lots and lots of sex. And it goes on and on. So we've got quite a little dialogue going on today. Thankfully, we've got the doctor here with the expert advice. Hey, join the conversation. We're at facebook.com/smartfamily15, and we're reading your comments right now. So log in. Daff?